All right. Good evening and good morning. Welcome to the third panel discussion of Blue Sapphire Cybersecurity event. And today on my panel, I have Ravi. And Ravi comes with an extensive experience of cybersecurity of over 20 plus years. Currently, he is AVP, LTI Alliances, and Global Delivery at this point of time. And we also have Chaitanya, who leads the practice activities within LTI, more from cybersecurity point of view. Let me go ahead and unmute Ravi and Chaitanya just a moment, please. There we go, Ravi. I think you should be able to talk now.
Yeah, so thank you, Praveen. So good morning to the people in the US and good evening to people in India. It's a privilege and a pleasure to be part of this panel, Praveen. Thank you for the introduction.
Appreciate that, Ravi, took time and joined us today. Chaitanya, I've unmuted you as well, so you should be able to talk now.
Thank you, Praveen. So good evening, everyone, and good morning to everyone based in Americas. This is Chaitanya. You can call me CK. I'm responsible for cybersecurity solutions and business across Europe for Larsen & Toubro Infotech, and happy to be part of this conversation.
Perfect. Ravi and CK, I think the audience is slowly filling up, but I think we can quickly start having this conversation while we start filling up from our audience point of view. So I think let's quickly chime into how things are from a security point of view, Ravi. Especially, we see that the threat landscape has evolved a lot in the last couple of years. We may thank to rapid digitization due to COVID. We are seeing some serious rise in APT groups targeting healthcare, pharma, a lot of global establishments, completely vertical, business vertical agnostic, series of supply chain attacks happening and businesses being plagued by ransomware attacks. And I think it is not quite common that we don't see any organization, no matter which scale or size it operates, is out of the radar of the attackers. How do you think organizations should, really think to re-strategize the entire cybersecurity posture of an organization at this point of time in ensuring that we meet the new threats that keep evolving day on day, Praveen?
Yeah, very good question, Praveen. See, the past 2 years have been a lot more, but this is not anything as a beginning. So when we look at the threat landscape, as you correctly pointed out, due to digitization, due to cloudification, which is happening primarily due to the current COVID situation, there's a lot of proliferation of cloud digitization, and a lot of workloads have moved onto the cloud. And the crown jewels, which are now on to the cloud, how do we protect them? And the kind of state-sponsored attacks, which have been happening, not that we are seeing only during this COVID time, but this have been the past more than, I would say, at least with my understanding, it is 2 decades plus. We have been seeing, the attack vectors coming from especially the state-sponsored advanced persistent threats. And very importantly, you touched on the ransomware attacks. As recent as Accenture, it came into limelight for all the wrong reasons. Not sure whether they were to really pay up the ransomware or not, but the ransomware attack vectors, sophisticated malwares, and then phishing campaigns, particularly. These have been various vehicles the adversaries are leveraging, and they will continue to leverage. There is no end to this. But as large enterprises, what can we do? Can we be ahead of the adversaries? Which is definitely a very challenging question. But given the pace at which the adversaries are moving, we require to look into all of our critical digital assets, taking a 360-degree view. So when I say 360-degree view, it could be the network, the perimeter, the endpoints. The crown jewel can be even a CEO's laptop. Correct. So how do we prevent, or how do we bring some preventive measures than being reactive and responding or reacting to an attack? Which means today the role of a CISO, I would say, in 2007 and 8, we used to meet the CIOs and we used to have this CIO 100 events. But over a period of time, the empowerment have been to the CISO. It is imperative that today's CISOs have to be a lot more business savvy and understand the our own customers, to whom they are servicing. There are only 3 pillars according to me. One is the business continuity. Imagine Amazon.com, the site is not up for one hour. In India, Flipkart.com not working for an hour. Imagine the kind of business loss. That is one of the key elements. Second is the brand equity of any organization will come into a grinding halt if there is a kind of any untoward. And third is the compliance management. There are external policing agencies. They have set certain yardsticks, measurements, and we have no other choice but to adhere to. But that is not all. So in short, business continuity, brand equity, and compliance management. To do all of this, the CISOs are required to understand the nuances of the business and quantify the cybersecurity risk. Unless the CISO is in a position to tell the board that we are exposed to $50 million or a $20 million worth of risk which is in front of us. To combat perhaps the investment that may be required in order to justify the technology, the people, and the processes that they require to. They should be in a position to justify these. So for that, one of the key areas is risk quantification. Second is to bring some of the preventive measures. Today, when there is a ransomware attack vector, can we leverage the power of the threat intelligence? Maybe we can definitely discuss the granular at a later point in time. But the CISO require to be absolutely vigilant on the external environment and the behavioral aspects of our own people within the organization, identify these early vectors and try and mitigate them. And mitigation is a very long haul and a strategy which is needed. Just to summarize my points, the CIO or the CISO of the organization required to have these, whether it is an APT or a ransomware vector, whatsoever, be vigilant on the external side of the attack vectors. An organization is not confined to its own perimeter. Today, now the perimeter is shrinking.
Yes.
The organization is required to be vigilant on the people with whom they associate with. It may be a third-party contractor or a supply chain. A weak link in a chain can actually cause a havoc to the organization because day in, day out, your supply chain is getting connected to. Your third-party contractors are communicating to your nerve points within the organization. So in short, the CISO have to take a holistic view of cybersecurity, and it is not point in solution whether to address the servers or the endpoints, which is not so. One, the organizational enterprise as a whole and the ecosystem. So I'll leave it here, Praveen.